I never cried when my father died. You see, I have seen the sun rise and set for years now. There are days when the sun never shone. And I mean that quite literally and metaphorically too. Days when the skies were blue and my mood was too. 4 years ago, the sun set. 4 years ago, the sun never rose. You know, like a flower, when it's too withered to blossom with the morning sun, it died. And when it died, I never cried. Because I'm a man. They told me, tears are a sign of weakness, that I'm the first in a family of 4, and for that reason, I should be strong, I should be a man. I never cried when they cut my foreskin. You see, that's how we cut away childish things. Like a pupa into a moth, this was the only road that led me home. And home was a beastly kingdom of mini-gods that feared nothing but how they felt. I thought gods cried too when Jesus wept. So when they cut my manhood apart, I knew what I felt. And I knew my place. I was just a boy trying to become a man, so I kept a straight face. Because they told me, that's how I speak in the table of men. I never cried on my first heartbreak. You see, this was my first time loving, so I loved like I never did. I got me a queen, a beauty without being so clean. Within, I knew what I felt. It was as though I traversed the universe, touched the sun, and walked among the stars. It was heavenly. And my fantasy took us to places I'd never been. I thought, this is how it will ever be. So, when the heavens turned gray and love was in despair, I crashed and crumbled into a depressing abyss. But my boys told me, dude, you don't cry because of a girl. So the last time I cried, it was like I tested the river Amazon, sailed smooth along its still waters and knocked myself up on the rapids. When I almost reached the waterfall, I tried to clutch at a dead tree. And in an instance of mockery, it cracked like a crooked carpentry. And it was like the Nile broke its banks. I don't know who cut the onions, but my eyes were sweating. And it was refreshing. So I reached out to my soul and hugged me. He said, Isn't this what freedom feels like?